Hello, dog lover. My name is Saro. I'm a dog trainer, also coach dog owners. Welcome to another live session. Today, I'm going to talk about what happened to my dog and aggression, and also I'm going to answer your questions. Make sure that you have your questions ready because we're going to start right now. All right, so welcome to another live broadcast of Saro Dog Training. Hopefully you're doing well and your dog is having a fun time and is well behaved. If not, don't worry, I'm right here and I can help you and give you some tips and ideas to get your dog well behaved. So let's get started. I wanted to share with you my story, what happened to me, to my dog. And also, it's related to aggression, so that's what it caused. Helped me to come up with this title for today's video, which is aggression. So, a dog who we kind of knew, and we knew that has dog aggression. We met on the weekend, and this dog attacked my dog. And my dog Harvey, he got bitten on the leg, and he got 2 punctures on his front leg, and he was in pain and shocked, obviously. So that made me to think about the topic today, that I should share with you some ideas and some tips about dog aggression and why that happens and why do dogs get aggressive, especially toward other dogs and maybe even people, and maybe even around objects like skateboards and cars and things like that. So what is causing dogs to get aggressive, and how do we deal with aggression? In general, there are many reasons why dogs get aggressive. The main ones I would say is because dog owners, they kind of cause this to happen in dogs, but there are some other reasons that could be related to the breeding, the gene of the dog, could be related to mainly stress and a few things that I'm going to talk about tonight anyways. So what I mean by has developed by breeders or gene is that there are some breeders who breed protection dogs. They breed certain type of dogs, and the dog owners also are sold to the idea that, oh, this is a champion dog, this is a dog of a certain breed and these qualifications and had this and that, and it won this championship and that championship. So when a dog is in that working mentality and is bred to do that certain things, either it's protection or it's herding or even the show dogs, there are specialized breeders who do this kind of breeding. And then if you fall into the idea that this dog was a dog who was a champion and this and that, you're buying a dog or you're getting a dog who has this gene or mentality in it to work, to do things. So if you get a puppy of this breed and from this breeder, then you have to understand that this is not a regular dog. This is not a normal dog. You have to do some additional extra stuff with this dog in order for this dog to be normal pet dog. So there is a difference between a working breed dog and a pet dog. A pet dog is a dog that follows the human rules and does whatever the human asks it to do. A working dog has this mentality that it has to work and also follow human rules and boundaries. So you have to understand that your dog may be one of those. And most of the breeders, either they tell you or they don't tell you, or you end up adopting a backyard dog who you don't really know the past of it, what has happened with this dog, with this puppy, or you just adopt a dog. Again, you don't know the past of this dog. In general, I highly recommend to dog owners not to focus on the past story of a dog, what has happened in the past to the dog. What it matters is what it's important now and the future. So what it means that whatever you're doing today will help to develop the dog of your dream in future. So you want to focus on building and making the dog of your dream. Doesn't matter what the past was. So, for example, I come across many dog owners who have adopted a dog, and they say, the dog of your dream. "Oh, my dog doesn't matter what he or she was is a rescue dog, and used to it got this and that, it got in fight with this, and then it was this, and then he went through this, went through that. That's why he's behaving this way." So what I want you to understand that dogs are capable of changing faster and much easier than humans, so they don't stick to the story that they are living with. There is some of the trauma. They feel some of the trauma, and they stick to those some portions of those traumas that they go through, but they don't hang on to it like humans do. And humans, what they need to understand when it comes to their dogs is to let go of the dog's past and don't fall into the story of the dog, which will make you to pause and stop and not to do what you need to do. And you always start hanging on to the story of the dog, whether it was traumatic or whatever it was. You stick to that story, and it stops you from moving forward. And if you stop moving forward, then your dog never gets better either. So it stops moving forward as well. So you want to make sure that you understand these parts first, that it could be related to your dog's very past, the breeding part, from the breeding part, could be the past experiences that your dog or your puppy had. And there are some situations that also some breeders, they let go of their dogs or puppies too early. We used to I was told also in the past that it was a good time to let go of the puppy at 8 weeks old as a breeder. I'm not a breeder, but the breeders were told to let go of their puppies at 8 weeks old, which is not a good sign and also not a good time to let go of a puppy. And most breeders also they were letting go even sooner than that, 6 weeks or 7 weeks or even 8 weeks. And now we know that it's better to leave the puppy stay with the parents and with its family at least up to 12 weeks. They need this time to learn from the humans, from the dogs, rather than from humans. They need to learn things that us humans we don't get to teach. That's the sad part, when we bring a puppy to our home at 8 weeks old, we tend to screw them up unknowingly. So it's better to keep them as long as we can up to 12 weeks old, and then let them go to humans home and be living with humans. So some breeders could be the cause of the reason why dogs get aggressive as well, because they don't give the puppy enough time to learn from other dogs and socialize and learn how to deal with problems properly and naturally. So when they come to humans, families, and humans, most dog owners, let's be honest here, Not many dog owners know exactly what to do and how to raise a puppy, especially when they get a puppy at 8 weeks old, 10 or 12 weeks old, or any time actually. Most dog owners are not familiar. They're not educated about what they're supposed to do. They get the puppy first, and then they figure out, okay, I have no idea what I'm supposed to do. Then they start making the phone calls. You have to educate yourself. This is why I emphasize on my channel, on most of my videos, that you have to educate yourself before you get a dog. You have to know what you're supposed to do, how you're supposed to deal with a dog, raise a puppy, and then get a dog or get a puppy. So most of the mistakes that humans and dog owners are making from the time that they bring their puppy or the dog or their adopted dog home, they start making those mistakes to the time that the dog gets really stressed, really anxious, and attacks or becomes aggressive towards other dogs or people or whatever is causing it to be aggressive. So these are the reasons why dogs get aggressive. The main reason I would say again is humans, whether they are breeders, whether they are backyard breeders, whether they are normal dog lovers who want to have a dog or a puppy, or just you, anybody can make a mistake and do the wrong thing and not to follow the rules and the ideas that they're supposed to, which will cause dogs to develop aggression. So aggression in general is developed by humans' mistakes. Let's be honest there. Now, when you have a dog who has aggression issues, you have to understand a few things, that either your dog didn't have a good social skills when it was growing up, or it was because it didn't have good leadership. Now here's another part that I'm going to explain a little bit more. You're familiar with dogs are dominant and they need the human to be dominant. You need to be alpha, you need to be in charge. You've heard probably all these things. I kind of disagree with these things, not because they're not true. It's not that I'm saying, I just don't like the wordings of it and the way we say them, and the way we take them. The way we say that you have to be dominant to your dog, and when I say that to a dog owner thinks that they need to be aggressive to their dogs. So I don't like to use the word domination. I like to use that you need to train your dog. You need to teach your dog. You need to be your dog's guide. You need to be your dog's teacher. Dogs, automatically, they are born to follow something. If a dog was born among ducks, it would follow the duck. If a puppy was born among bears, it would have followed the bear. If it's born and living with humans, it should follow humans. It will follow humans. But we have to also understand that dogs were bred and designed to live with humans, for humans. And they were designed and made by humans too. By the way, if you have any questions meanwhile, feel free to leave those questions in the chat line. I will answer them anyways. But I like to talk about this topic anyways, so it's a good opportunity for me to explain this subject and talk about it so you have a good idea of what is going on. So you have to understand that dogs were bred and designed for humans, by humans. So we need to do our part. We need to do our share in order for us to have a good dog. If you don't, the worst thing I always say, the worst thing that you can do to a dog is not to tell it what to do. So now, for example, the dog who attacked my dog Harvey is this one. The dog who attacked Harvey, obviously, it was obvious for me to see it. The dog felt like, I am in control. This is what I do all the time when I see a dog. and this is what I'm supposed to do. I've been doing this for a long time, and this is what I do. And every time I do this behavior, they remove me from the situation, and that's it. I don't learn anything. I think that's what I'm supposed to do over and over. So, especially when you have a dog who has aggression, you have to be in control of that dog. That dog is begging you, is asking you to give guidance, to show them the way, right? So aggression is something, it's a pile up of stress and anxiety due to a human not being telling their dogs what to do. Now, I always say this, and I've always mentioned this before, and I'm going to say it again and again. Your dog needs you. Your dog needs you to be in control. They want to be told. They want to be told what to do, what not to do, how to do things, where to go, where not to go, how to behave, and all that. And if you don't tell them what to do, they get stressed, they get anxious. So what you want to do is you want to focus on your dog's daily 5 essential needs. This is something that I always tell dog owners. Focus on your dog's daily 5 essential, which is exercise, training, socialization, care, and affection. This is having complete control of your dog. A dog needs these 5 essential needs. Okay? They don't need a fancy bed. They don't need a fancy collar. They don't need a fancy crate. They don't need a fancy home, jewelries, this and that. We humans may need those stuff, but dogs, they don't care about those stuff. What they care about is, are you providing me my daily exercise? Are you training me every day? Are you allowing me to socialize with everything and anything? Are you providing proper care for me, or are you sharing proper affection with me? And I'm going to share with you again one more time these. I'll talk about a little bit about these 5 essentials, so you have a good understanding. Why is it that dogs get aggressive? Now, an aggressive dog will behave anxious and stressful, will be anxious and stressful, and will behave that way because you're not providing their daily 5 essential needs. Okay? You are providing probably good amount of affection. You are providing good care, right? You may not be providing proper socialization. You're not obviously doing training with your dog. A dog who's trained is not going to be aggressive. And you're not providing enough amount of exercise. So what you're focused on mainly is affection and care. So when you're focused on those, your dog will be stressed and anxious. So therefore, it will cause it to behave aggressively. And the aggressiveness is pile up of stress and anxiety because they're not getting these 5 essential daily needs. So most dog owners, when they have an aggressive dog, for example, they do tend to exercise the dog a lot more than they would do to a normal dog, just to get rid of the aggression. Not knowing that if you're providing too much of exercise for your dog, you're actually causing your dog to be more stressed. Because a normal dog, even a working dog, even a dog who's been bred to work, they need an hour, 15 maybe max of daily exercise. If you provide more than that and it's vigorous and it's, let's say it's a non-stop, or you're doing it often throughout the day, that will cause your dog to get stressed. And when they get stressed, they can't tell you, stop exercising me, stop doing this to me. What they do, they behave, they react. So when they react, that's a signal to you that, okay, I did something either too much or too little. So in this case, we're talking about exercise. So you did too much of it. You provided too much of exercise for your dog. Therefore, your dog is stressed now. So you have to understand that dogs don't just out of nowhere behave certain way. There must be something that is causing them to behave certain way, and you probably miss the signals, right? So that's where you want to focus on. You want to focus on listening to your dog, understanding that your dog is giving you signal and is telling you that, oh, I was probably under exercised or over exercised. So focus on that, pay attention to those, and realize the first thing that you want to do is don't over exercise your stressed or anxious dog, your aggressive dog. It will cause your dog to develop more bad behaviors because they're stressed and they can express that stress to you. They can have a chat with you. They can have a sit down, tell you, oh, I'm stressed because of this and that. So they react. So pay attention and react to their signals. The training, as I said, a trained dog wouldn't be aggressive. Trained dog means a dog who has some form of communication with their human, in general with humans, so they have the ability, they have learned to get cues from their humans. So if you are able to give cues to your dog, you can literally tell your dog, okay, don't attack now. Don't attack anymore. You can literally say that to your dog. If you want to be verbal and be talking to your dog, literally like a human, you can actually say that to your dog. If you have trained your dog, if you have that communication system with your dog, you can actually tell your dog, don't do it. And your dog will be willing to cooperate with you and not to make any mistakes, because a trained dog knows how to follow rules and boundaries. It has rules and boundaries, so it knows what to do and what not to do in case something like that happens. So if a dog who's trained, first of all, you can control it, you can manage it. Second of all, you can tell it to do this or that. I mean, there are dogs who are bred for protection. The way they are trained to be protection dogs is controlled and managed aggression. They teach the dog to be aggressive at certain time and to be off and not be aggressive at certain time. So when for example, a police dog is working and the police officer says attack or go for it, whatever the cue word is between the police officers and the dog, and the police officer says go for it, the dog turns on and goes and attacks and grabs the suspect and stops it from moving forward. So, and then next minute is playing with the dog. The dog is playing with the handler, the police officer, talk toy, and it's a normal behaving dog. You can go and play with that dog. So that dog, because it's been trained, you can turn on and off the aggression. Now, I'm not saying all dogs are trained that way, or you should train your dog like that. But in general, if you want to train your dog to be if you train your dog would be under control. And the next thing is socialization. If you socialize your dog properly from the day that you bring your dog home, not caring about what happened in the past to the dog, and just focus on providing proper socialization, using training, using proper exercise, providing proper exercise so you can train your dog, and then use those opportunities to socialize your dog with everything. So, for example, if you provide proper socialization, proper exercise for your dog is going to be nice and content, happy. because it's got its proper amount of exercise that day. Then you can train your dog, whatever training you have to do. If you have a new dog or a puppy, you start with puppy training, basic obedience, intermediate level, advanced level. You go to agility, you do fly ball, you do scent work, you can do all kinds of training. You start training your dog, and using those training cues and techniques, you can ask your dog to socialize with other people and other dogs and everything. So for example, you come across a dog, you can say, Rover, sit, Rover sits, Rover stay, Rover stays. The other dog comes and greets your dog nicely. If you do that, if you have a dog who's under control, you're automatically controlling the environment and the other dogs and everything that is happening around. So you can tell your dog to be under control, so you can have the other dogs as well under control. So if you have your dog under control, the other dogs are going to think, oh, that dog is under control. There's something strange with this dog. I should be behaving certain way. This dog is behaving certain way, which is very controlled and managed and very well behaved, so I can't be misbehaving. So I have to control myself as well. So they start controlling themselves when approaching your dog. So therefore, your dog is going to have positive results, positive experiences, and the dogs who are meeting your dog are not going to be attacked or have a bad or negative experiences. So this is why exercise and training and socialization is important, because then we get into care and affection. Care is the part that, most dog owners, they provide a good care to their dogs. I've never seen, I've been in this business for more than 12 years or so. I've never seen a dog being treated badly, being not cared for properly. Most dogs are super spoiled, super taking good care. The only thing that I suggest in this part to do is please feed your dog species appropriate diet, which is raw diet. Stop feeding your dog kibble or dry food, which is processed, dry, toxins, and it's full of non-nutritional fillers that it goes in your dog's body. Not only comes out as it is, it causes a lot of damage in your dog's body, which it causes health issues to develop. So I beg you to feed your dog species appropriate diet, which is raw diet. And I have tons of videos about this topic in my channel. You can go ahead and watch those and learn a bit about this diet. The care part, most people, they focus on what leash do I buy, is this what harness do I buy, what bed do I buy. I have videos about those too, but it doesn't matter what kind of tools you're using. As long as you provide proper exercise, training, socialization, your dog will be happy to have whatever you provide. Doesn't have to be bling bling. It could be any collar, any leash, any bed. They will be happy. So provide whatever you can, but instead of focusing on bling blings and and top-notch bed, top-notch ball and collar, focus on providing. Invest in their diet. Stop feeding kibble and dry food. And the next thing, the last thing a dog needs, and I always say the last thing a dog needs is affection. Dogs like to share, to get affection. They love to be loved, but it's not what they really need. What they need is you. You are the most important thing that it means to your dog. Affection is something that you can use as a reward. You can use affection when your dog has done something great. If your dog has done something good, and is not aggressive, that's not the time to share affection with your dog. If your dog is aggressive and is behaving badly, it doesn't mean that you need to share affection. That's the time that you don't share affection. You don't give affection to a dog who's misbehaving. You know, you don't share affection with a dog who's giving you headache. Affection should be rewarded, considered as reward. If you do this, I'm going to share affection. If you don't do that, I'm not going to give you affection. And believe me, you're saying, but that is mean, that is so cruel. But think about it. Throughout the day, you're providing your dog's 5 daily essential needs, which is exercise. You're sharing affection. You're giving affection to your dog. Training. You're spending time with your dog. It's affection. It's considered affection. You're allowing your dog to socialize with everything, play with other dogs, go for walks, say hi to people, do all these things. You're providing food, bed, shelter, all the goodies, treats, and things like that. Those are considered affection. They are affection. And on top of that, you want to share affection. So affection is the last thing that you need to focus on, because you are sharing affection throughout the day with your dog. And your dog is happy to have all those. If you don't provide all those, if you don't provide exercise, training, socialization, and only focus on care and affection, you will have a dog who's going to be either bad behaved or even aggressive. So the moral of the story is that the reason Harvey, my dog, got attacked is because the dog who was attacking Harvey didn't have its daily 5 essential needs provided for the past, I think it's a 1.5 old dog, 1.5, 2 years, for the past 2 years. Hasn't been provided. So it's completely stressed. It's super stressed, confused, anxious, so takes it on other dogs. Right? It bullies other dogs. That's what basically aggression is. It's an opportunity for the dog to release its stress. So humans, when they get stressed, they go and box, they do break things, they yell, they do this and they do that. Dogs, that's what they do. Now, if you have got into that point, if your dog has got to that point that is aggressive and is reactive, I want you to understand that it's a signal, it's a sign to you. It's a conversation that they're having with you, and they're telling you that I need you to focus on my daily 5 essential needs. Please do this for me. Provide this for me. I don't need a fancy color. I don't need a fancy this and that. I want you to focus on providing me these 5 daily essential needs. And one more thing, remember to provide me in this order. Okay? Exercise, training, socialization, care, and then affection. Not affection. The day doesn't start with affection. The day doesn't start with breakfast. The day starts with exercise, with walk, for example. It starts with a walk, continues with some form of training that you're doing with your dog. Could be 15-minute session, could be half an hour session a day, could be an hour a day, whatever time you're taking the time to invest in training your dog. You train your dog. You take the time to socialize your dog, and then feed breakfast, and then share affection. And this routine can repeat 3 to 4 times or even 5 times a day. Okay? Exercise, training, socialization, care, affection. Basically, walk, a little bit of training, sit, stay calm, heel, all that. Hey, say hi to the neighbor. Say hi to the neighbor dog. Sit, stay. What a nice boy. What a nice girl. Good. Say hi. Good morning. Good afternoon. Let's go have breakfast. Let's go have dinner. Here's a snack for you. affection, good boy, good girl, I love you. Because I have provided all these things for you, I'm sharing affection with you. You can't just all of a sudden just focus on affection and breakfast or lunch or dinner. That will screw up your dog. You have to focus on providing your dogs daily 5 essential needs. That's the key. Aggression is a sign from your dog. It's a conversation that your dog is having with you. It's telling you that it needs help. It is stressed, it's not getting what it wants, and it needs you to provide it. So focus on providing your dog's daily 5 essential needs. Don't focus on what happened in the past to your dog. Don't focus on what's going on with your dog. Focus on what you can provide to your dog. Hopefully that helps. And if you have any questions, and if you want to become an educated dog lover and have a healthy, happy, well-behaved dog, consider subscribing to my channel and hit the bell icon as well, so you will get notified as soon as I post my next video or if I go on live session again next time. So I just wanted also at the end, I just wanted to inform you that my videos, I have changed a little bit when I post the videos. I'm trying to figure it out what it works first of all with my routine, because I work 24/7. I run a doggy daycare and also I do dog training as well. And making videos is the third thing that I do. And writing a book is the other thing. I have online dog training course as well. I take care of my students as well. So there are lots going on. So I'm trying to figure out what is the proper time that I can post a video. So I'm working on that. So the next video will be posted on Friday. So this Friday at 5 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Keep an eye on it. It will be a great video. I hope you liked my last video, which was about restriction in food and diet. That is very important video for me, to share with you guys. I hope you watched it. That's the video that I talk about what happens when you reduce the amount of the food and when you don't use treats actually to train your dog. The less time your dog is eating, the longer your dog is going to live. That's the key word, and that's the message there. And also included a little bit of vlog style video, so you can see behind the scene what happens and how I make the videos. Hope you liked that video. Again, if you want to become an educated dog lover and have a healthy and happy, well-behaved dog, consider subscribing to my channel. And until next time, have fun with your dog.